I'm so excited. We're about to come up on one of my favorite events of the year, and this will be my third time to go because 2020 was canceled and then 2021 never happened, and so I get to go again. I have participated in the best dress competition every year I've been, which I guess is only twice. The first year we got third place. Really, I think it's because we were so stinking cute. I mean, look at this picture. We are so stinking cute. I just got the dress at a thrift store. I didn't know much about 1920s fashion except, you know, dropped waists were a thing. So honestly, I didn't try that hard. The second year, I had found this original printing of the 1 hour dress from 1924. And I wanted to try it out. I guess at this point I had about a year and a half of sewing experience and I had zero experience drafting my own pattern. And I tried. I failed miserably. So I kind of came up with this weird robe de style. I was really proud of the hoops I made though. I made that out of a pillowcase and zip ties, but I got second. I want first. I don't know if they're actually planning on having a best dress competition this year, but if they are, I'm determined to win first. The inspiration. I'm planning on making like a really late 19-teens or really early 1920s dress. I got this silk and thimbles pattern. It is way too big for me, but I really just got it more so I can see the pattern pieces and the way it's constructed. But I'm planning on kind of making up my own pattern for this. I also have this folkwear Armistice Blouse pattern that I'm kind of thinking I'm going to draft the top off of. I'm going to use this really nice and light cotton for my dress. And then I was thinking, I have all of these hankies from my great grandma. And I thought, wouldn't it be cute if I like used it as like the collar and then like the cuffs. So I have this one here that has a cute little flower design on it. And then I have this one here, which is even more designed. I think I'm going to use this one for the collar and this one for the cuffs. But first, because I have no idea how I'm going to do this, let's make a mock-up. Well, this is literally the ugliest thing I've ever created. I didn't have enough fabric to do it all out of one color, so I have 4 different colors in here. Things I want to change. Obviously, it is way too long, and also I didn't sew this in correctly. I would bring it all the way over to here so that it would close here. Also, it's huge. I also think I'm going to bring up the waistband a little bit. I just kind of put it at a random spot and it's too low, so I think I need to bring it up here. Can't decide if I like the underskirt the way it is, or if I maybe want to make a circle skirt underneath, if that would look better than this straight skirt. I think I'm gonna look up references and see what I like best. It's hard to imagine it because it's 4 different colors. So I guess I'm gonna fix the underarms, and I guess I'm gonna raise everything up because, you know, we wanna make sure that it looks good before we cut it out of the regular fabric. Maybe I can find enough fabric, or maybe I can cut, because this is like really big, maybe I can just cut a circle skirt out of this and try that. Maybe, I don't know, it might still be way too, I think it's way too little fabric, but I just don't have enough fabric. I think I've got it. I have to remember that the fabric that I'm actually going to use is a whole lot less boisterous, has less body than the fabric I am currently using. So it won't be quite as poofy. I was looking at examples from this time period and it looks like this kind of is the shape of the skirt. So I'm just gonna go with it and hope that it looks better in the real stuff. And of course, I didn't really try a whole lot with these gathers. They're kind of a mess, but you know, I was just trying to put it together to make sure that it works. I did end up taking off 10 inches from the bottom skirt and 7 inches from the top skirt. I think we're good to go. Now I just need to take this all apart and repattern it and then cut it out of the real stuff. Well, sad news. As I was looking at the handkerchiefs, I realized that they were pulling apart at the seams, which doesn't really work if I want this to be long lasting. I decided to cut the waistband on the bias because I thought that would look super cute. Since fabric stretches on the bias and you don't want that for a waistband, I decided to back it with some lightweight cotton interfacing. Since the skirt pieces are all pretty much rectangles, I think I'm going to hem all of that first because I figure it'll probably be easier to hem when it's all just flat instead of after it's gathered. The skirt is looking good. I tried pattern matching, but I'll be honest with you, I am not good at pattern matching. I tried. It's barely going to be noticeable. Like, I can barely notice it, and I know it's there. This overskirt is a little bit wonkier than the underskirt, but it's going to be so heavily gathered, I don't think it even matters. The next thing I need to do is I need to add the placket to the skirt, but I hate plackets. I hate plackets. I do them a lot. Half the time they turn out well. So I am going to not do that at the moment because I don't want to. Instead, I'm going to work on the collar and the chemisette. I couldn't figure out if I wanted to add lace since I'm not doing the handkerchiefs. But ultimately, I decided against it. I want this to look as 1920s as possible, and I feel like lace kind of points it more towards the 1910s. That's just my feeling. I know that there are a ton of examples of 1920s dresses with lace, but that's just how I feel. But I have this nice plaid, and plaid is great because you can turn it the regular way or you can put it on the bias and then it creates something really interesting. So I'm going to add bias tape around the edges, kind of similar to these pictures here. And then for the chemisette, I haven't figured out exactly how I want it to look. I have bias pieces and I have white pieces, and I don't know if I want it like all bias or all white or half and half. I don't know. I'm just going to play around with it and see what I like. I got the two panels all done. I lined this one in the back with the white cotton so that the bias wouldn't stretch. And right now I think I'm liking this one, but we'll just see when I get the top all together. And speaking of that, it is time to put this thing together, which means it's time to do the placket. This placket is particularly scary because I don't know if you can see this, but here's the center. This is where the placket goes. If I get it wrong, it may be highly visible. I love these instructions. Slash front gore to left of center front, a long line of small O perforations, and finish for a placket. Thanks for nothing. This pattern is literally a copy of a vintage pattern, and the older you get, the less instructions they give you. So to try to keep from getting it wrong, I am going to use the instructions from this pattern to make the placket. So the instructions state, we need to cut a lap that is 2 inches wide and twice the length of the opening, adding an inch. The length of the opening is 10 inches, so we need to make it 21 inches and then 2 inches wide. Okay, I'm already changing my idea. Instead of doing the continuous lap, I decided just to do 2 pieces at 11 inches long and sew them in separately. Sam, quit thinking you're smarter than the pattern. There's a reason you pulled out the pattern. There's a reason you keep messing up plackets. It's because you don't follow instructions. Follow the instructions. Let's try this again. 21 inches. I'm gonna sew it to this. The placket's almost done. My instinct tells me that the back is going to have to overlap with the front because of the way the blouse is constructed, but I'm afraid that'll look bad, so you know what? I'm gonna do it later. Let's work on the blouse. I did the larger of the two collars, but now I'm thinking it might be too large. I know, Schmoopy. I don't want to redo the bias tape. If I didn't have to do the mitered corners, it would be fine, but I hate mitered corners. But I think it's too big. I really just laid this on top to show you the size difference, but oh my gosh, I have a much better idea. Well, I did not get nearly as much done as I wanted to yesterday. I thought I would basically have the dress pieced together without the sleeves maybe, but that definitely did not happen. I don't know where the day went, but it disappeared. So let's see how much we can actually get done today. I still haven't decided which one of these I want yet. I think this may be the last thing I do. I'm gonna put the waistband on now. I have it all marked out so that, you know, I can put it on without one of these. It's looking good so far. I really like the collar. Look at how good it looks. Let's see how much we can get done today. Also, if you can hear my dog, she is very grumbly today for some reason. First of all, I couldn't have done this even if I tried, and I definitely didn't try. The patterns match in the front. What? So now I am going to take this and sew it on the inside here to encase all of these ugly raw edges because I feel like being extra. It's a good thing there's so much good television to keep up with right now because I have done so much hand sewing on this dress already. I also put a vote up on Instagram about which of these to choose because I don't know. I keep thinking I'll figure it out and I can't, so it's out of my hands. I'm gonna do whatever Instagram tells me to. The internet hath spoken, and they chose this one. Yay! I already got it sewed in on this side. I still need to do the closures and the sleeves, and I'm gonna do the little girdle belt thing. And that's it. We're getting so close. Now let's work on the sleeves. These cuffs are pretty big. They're bigger than the ones that I did for the tea gown. So I'm gonna get the sleeves sewn together and then I'm just gonna pin one of them on and see how tall I actually want it.